Do you know that the natives in Syria, places like Syria, used to talk Latin and other sort of language? This language was imposed within the era, before and after Constantine. If you return back, especially after the Messiah, it was imposed. You cannot do any trade. You need to talk to this language because there is an occupation, an invasion, a control by the Romanian. It's not. It was not like right now. You speak English as another language. No, so many people were, especially with imposing the so-called Christian, universal Roman so-called Christian faith, and you can see the similarity. When you go to talk to some Syrian, for example, they speak like this or liberal. شو كيفك كيف الحال? And you go to the Latinos. I mean, if you go and talk to anyone from Italy, there is the accent. Tupestina, monocotolita, otoropotatata, whatever, something like this. ولد البوبا شو بدك يا زلمة؟ لك ما على عيني، لك ما بدك شالير، بدك تجينا على الناحية، بنروح للضاحية، something like this. The accent, because there is these people, once Islam came at the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab, they had enough with the Byzantines and they had enough with the Roman, and they choose to speak Arabic to send a message to the occupiers, especially the Roman, that from now on we will speak Arabic. This is a message for you not to come back. You're not welcome. The Egyptian as well. You might I mean, the Byzantines, the Roman, but you can find this accent. You can, of course, a lot of things happened since the Mamalik, since the Mongols. So the natives in Syria, the majority of those who are in Syria, definitely they are the natives, except some groups who are considered Christian, so-called Christian, calling themselves Christian. Al-Alawi, who Bashar al-Assad is among them. These people are not originally from Syria. No, they are not. Some groups calling itself Christian in Egypt, they are not original there. I'm not gonna talk about some of those who live in Algeria, Tunis, or Morocco, as some of big percentage among them are natives from that peninsula called Spain right now. They escaped the European invasion against Andalusia, and they settled in Morocco and other parts of there. Someone would say, okay, why you're bothering us about Iraq? I mean, those who call themselves Shiite. Why you're calling them Easterns? I'm calling them Easterns because they are not originally from Iraq. Now, if you go and study Syria, what is above Syria? Turkey. When did Muslim liberate Turkey? After the Umayyad and the Abbasids, at the time of the Uthmanic. If you go and study the history, Constantinople, which is Istanbul, when was it liberated? In which time was it liberated? Now, not to mention other factors, but what I'm trying to say is that, I mean, those who are European, so-called Christian, small groups used to come and settle, in comparison to the majority in Europe, come and settled in Andalusia, come and settled in Syria, come and settled in Egypt, running away from the rottenness of Europe. And this is facts, this is true. And of course, the Pope himself used to send some group to protect the house of worshipping Antichrist. I'm talking about the church there and there. This is fact. And others. But the issue is that at the time of colony, even I'm not going to talk about the time of colony because it needs a lot of explanation. Colonizing the area by France and England. No. Look at Iraq. Look at the border in east of Iraq. It goes all long way until India. The Mughals, Kashmir, Punjab. Understand me? It's a long way. Muslim nation, Muslim group, Muslim race, Muslim authentic group. But if you go to Syria, pick Turkey. What about Turkey? Oh, Greece. It's not a long, deep way. You understand me? Do you understand it? I mean, if you find some of those who are in Syria talking Arabic and Muslim, you might find some of those who are Turks. Of course, you will find a lot of those who call themselves Christian who came from Armenia, came from Greece. They know each other. I'm originally there, and Italians. You will find Goyim, who call themselves Jews from Turkey and other parts. But Iraq, it's different. Iraq have Karbala and Najaf, and this is considered a capital to the so-called Shiite. I don't know why they consider it a capital. This is sickness. It's a grave of Imam Ali and a grave of the body of Imam Hussein. Now this is irrelevant. Who allowed them to stay? The native of Iraq. And someone said to me, I'm not going to say something so that the video wouldn't be deleted. There is families who are in Iraq. Everyone knows either they are coming from Persia or just behind Persia. Places like Sindh and Punjab and Kashmir, and settled in Iraq. And all what they want is to slap themselves and scream Ali and Hussein, and they hate the Arabs. I'm not talking about all those Asian. I'm talking about those in Iraq. Who welcomed them? And you can find DNA, accent, other things, the tribal names that you use. Some of them, they are not tribes, but they relate themselves to the tribes. The attitude, the style, even in the accent. Who allowed them to come? We. Who allowed them to come? The natives. Who allowed them to settle? Who allowed them to stay in Karbala and Najaf? The natives of Iraq. You go and talk to these people who are originally from Asia, and they would say all sort of attack and insult to the native, unless if they know about me and try to hide themselves. The native Arab, the Ishmaelian, they call the Bedouin, Najdis, Wahhabis, all stuff. They have their rules and their culture, and sometimes their cult, the way they step on fire, the way they slap themselves, tatbir and other things. All of it came from origin from Asia. Some of it is so-called Buddhist cult, so-called Hinduist cult. They brought it with them, and we allowed them to stay. They was not a threat. As a matter of fact, they were part of the community, knowing that they are intruders. I'm not going to go to 12 states. I'm not going to go and talk about those Asian who are in Kuwait or Bahrain or others. Some of them, you will find some other Bajan Africans and Oman and Emirate who Bahrain, who in Saudi Arabia, Qatif, whatever, Ahsa. Some of them are from Sri Lanka, some of them, whatever. They hate the cuts. I'm not going to talk about those. I'm not going to talk about in the Middle East. When did they cause trouble? 20s? No. 30s? No. 40s? No. 60s? No. 70s? No. 80s? No. 90s? The 90s? 80s? Okay, 80s. Persia. In the 70s, the revolution of Ali Khomeini. They start making a problem. But it was not enough for them to cause trouble. It was the way they are doing right now. Or at the minimum after 2003. It's the West who helped them. Russia. They are bad. They're criminal. Understand me? They were there. They know that they are not original, not natives there, and they are thankful that they are living in Iraq. Look what they're doing right now. All sort of hate. They want to just steal destroy our rights, steal our things that is not theirs. Who's helping them? The West. And at the same time, you go to the West, and it's unbelievable. In the West, there is complaints. Look at France right now. Germany, complaints from the Muslims. Though the Muslims have no power whatsoever. The West is supporting those people to cause trouble to us. You invaded Iraq. The so-called Israeli state was one of the reasons. An occupation. Do you see? In Gulf state, the people speak the same accent of Indians, Kashmiris, Baluchis, Persians, and they are here. They say Kurdish. You can notice this from the accent. The problem is that they have the gut of the natives of the Ishmaelian territory and the natives of Middle East. This is how the devil is using them. This Ajam, out right now, who had the guts of Taliban, by the way. Right now, what are they doing? The natives there. What are they doing? They are absolutely, because there is a problem between the so-called Shiite in Iran, Afghanistan, the native. what are they doing? I mean, uh, they act like if they are lions, while they are listener rats. I mean, this ISIS would destroy them and destroy Iran. They start screaming like rabbits. Rabbits are respectable creature. They start screaming that we need more support from the America. The whole world, the NATO, the United States of America, all Gulf states, Russia, and the small militias. Bombs, 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 at Raqqa and other places. I'm just saying that they are creating reactions. They're causing trouble to us. Bad people, their mut'a, their way, their accent, the way, their religion, the tatbir when they slash themselves, take some blood, walk on some fires. It's exactly, they took it from Asia. We allowed them to stay. It was not, they were in Qatif. I mean, I know people who used to be in the army, in the national security, national guard, and other Gulf states army. They said it to me. They said at the 80s, I wouldn't know that there is, be, I wouldn't know anything about those Shiite who want to separate or independent. I never, it's not in our mind. Who caused this? Who caused this? Unbelievable. At the 20s, the 30s, return back. No, this is lies. They will cause trouble. If there is among them who cause trouble because he's bad. They know that this is the Ismailian territory, and they know that this is the Iraqi territory. Okay, someone might say, no, the so-called Shiite caused trouble to the Uthmanic Khilafah, bro. The Sufadis, Safawiyin. Oh, this is a different story. We can go to the Sufis right now and see what they did in Persia, how they persecute many groups after the death of Imam Hussein to the time of establishing the Safadis. Destructive Bawa. All what they did is just to destroy Islam. They're like all dark groups. I don't want to say more things so that my video wouldn't be deleted. What I'm trying to say that is that would people stop being racist before they accuse others of being racist? Would you just stop being racist? Would you just stop your racial discrimination? Would you just stop supporting the racists before you come and criticize the victims or others? You will think that I'm just saying this right now in 2021. I think it's August. This is the 2nd of August. Okay? You might think that Tariq is just calling for what? Just now in 2021. I said all of this even before the death of King Fahd. I remember when King Fahd died, and Abdullah bin Abdulaziz in 2005, I think, or 6. And I was talking so many of my friends and saying, this is the... And the problem is, in 2006, believe it or not, my friends are warning me. They're giving me warning. Tariq, be careful. Especially with this arrest. Terrorists with the time of invading Iraq. Be careful. I won't walk with you, wouldn't. The government is fine. It's a religious country, fine. In 2006, can you believe it's almost 15 years? Look what's happening, bro. Of course, for you it's just a joke. For you it's just a joke. I have a lot to ask him. What I'm asking him. The God Almighty to ask him with what I'm asking him. I mean.